What's up, my loves? Whew, what was that? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 3, Part 2 of the reunion. Let's get into it. So, it's starting off with the question that Carlos asked Martell. If you had met Ariane before Mel, would you have married her? Silence. He don't want to answer it. Here go Marceau. No. Marceau, why are you answering? See, what I realized in that first part of Marceau, Maurice, and Martell, bro code. Instant bro code. That's what I saw. Like, I don't know why. And Mary was like, let him answer it. Why are you giving him a pause? Let him answer it, okay? So he said, I do not want to answer it. Because then Marceau wants to keep on going on about how she only was with him because he had a lot of money. That's all. It wasn't like anything like that. It wasn't it. Marceau, why are you caping for Martell? Why are you trying to pass it off as it wasn't what it was? It don't sway no way, Marceau. Okay? A man cheated on his wife for 5 years with this same woman, okay, and had a baby. It doesn't matter. In either way, Mel thinks it's bullshit at the end of the day because Martell couldn't leave Ariane nor Mel alone because Martell wanted to have the space and the freedom to present the public how him and Mel are this power couple, family matters, man, all that type of stuff. But yet when he is not automatically up in the forefront, he still wants to let loose or be who he wants to be with Ariane. But yet Ariane is not being paraded in public. He still hides her. So basically, you were in love with two women and you did not know what to do. Basically, right? So does Mel think you were enough? Did you believe you were enough to keep him at bay or whatever? Or feel like, the marriage would have been enough? She said, I believe I was enough. And we've had conversations about what was it that kept you going back to her when you told me you didn't want to be with her. And he said he was greedy. Right, he said he was greedy. I don't think it was sexual. I think it was more than what it was. It was time. There was time to develop a connection for him and this woman. 5 years? Yeah, that's what happened. And even though after her telling him we're moving on, we're moving forward, they were still acting as if everything was fine. Going on vacations, having babies. They were still enjoying each other as a married couple would because, as Mel said, I wanted to believe it, that we were going to a better place. We were moving forward in our marriage. And it took a while to figure things out because I wasn't the type of woman that checked phone records and calls and all that type of stuff. But after I find out in March and leaving, and then came back to figuring out that he was still communicating with this woman after he told me that he wasn't, let me tell you something. This one time, he pulled his back. And as I'm trying to nurse him to health and everything, I went down and get something. I see him crawling to the other side of the room or to the next mirror or the next bathroom to get another phone. His phone was laying on top of the sink, but yet he went onto another cabinet or another drawer and get another phone, a burner phone or whatever, to still keep in contact with Ariane. So that's what Mel clicked in her mind. Oh, wow. You couldn't even sit at your bed, and while your wife is nursing you back to health after you pulled your back, you still felt the tug to go ahead and check on this woman or answer a text message. You still was it. So at that point, she said, I'm done. It's over. I'm not doing this no more. Because I was in the moment of believing that my husband was true to me, saying that he wasn't going to do it again. And she said, like any other wives that been in my position, of course, when you hear that your husband is cheating or you hear that he's saying he's sorry, he's not going to do it again, you give them the doubt, the benefit of the doubt, because you believe in he's going to do what he needs to do. Fight for his family and fight for his wife. That's what you would think after hearing his mistake and hearing how he was sorry. But now, he wasn't sorry. I mean, he's sorry about where it led to the demise of the marriage, but I don't know why he did not think that that would take into consideration or that would have been a demise. Why would Mel want to even think of staying with you after that? That makes zero sense to me. So then after that, Carlos said, I believe that Martell was trying. He was trying to get better. He was trying to do better. But the relationship between you and Ariane, and he did not want to admit to the connection, admit to the relationship and everything. Hold on, you guys. Hey, you guys, I'm back. Yeah, so basically she noticed that, okay, Carlos, just you're saying how this woman was a whole meal. She's a whole restaurant, hors d'oeuvres, dessert and all that type of stuff. She never opens, but yet he's still sleeping with other people. Shots fired. I'm like, ooh. So what is it? You know what I'm saying? You parading around like this woman was the main one that is keeping him awake, keeping him satisfied, but yet he's still around other people. So it doesn't even matter about who is the better or who's at the level, because this man is not going to be satisfied. He's not full. And even if that was the case, Martell would still figure out a way to dissolute that. He will still make it seem as if it's not as bad as it is, because he'll still come to me and tell me how I'm his everything. I'm everything he needs to be for our family. But at the same time, Martell, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't tell Mel that she is your one and only because you want to keep on talking about we have 4 kids and we have a business and we started off here. Okay, well, that should have been your main focal point of keeping your marriage intact. You wasn't thinking about your marriage. You were thinking about you, your sexual needs that wasn't being met. That's what you was thinking about. It's gonna be a lot of pausing. I'm moving too much. But basically, at the end of the day, you try to say whatever it is about her, how she has this connection with you, but yet you be calling me, telling me how I'm your everything. And yet you will verbatim say you'll be called dead with her because you want me. And I'm not going to be a part of that. But then he says, just because I say that doesn't mean I'm going to be with her if I can't have you. It doesn't even matter, Martell. Because however you want to go out in your brain, I'm never going to go back to you. No matter if you are with her or not, because I don't care. At this point, I'm just tired of being looked at as if I am... Mel's over it at this point. I don't know why I tried to finish that. She's ready. She's over it. So Carlos is asking Kimmy, do you think that Martell was being a manipulator? I don't know why Kimmy didn't even want to say yes, but she said no, because she believes that while Melody has said it in a different way on how he's apologizing to you, even though it could come off as sincere, that he still is doing everything under the lining. And he needs to admit that he does have feelings for the other woman. And Maurice said, I believe he feels guilty about having those feelings. And Carlos asked, Maurice, have you and Marceau have been around the woman with Martell? Maurice instantly said no. Maurice said no. Marceau said, yeah. And I'm like, oh, Tisha, pay attention, Tisha, pay attention. So they said, yeah, we seen them together, but it wasn't like the way that she came around. It wasn't like a random girl. Like, I'm going to get this girl. This was someone that he definitely has had conversations with and developed a connection with, which, duh. But what was bothering me is how cavalier Marceau is about being around it. And he didn't even tell Tisha that he had been around Martell and Ariane. And apparently Marceau had found out 2 months before Mel found out. What's killing me is, are you guys literally laughing and parading around Mel's face the entire time with this information? Like, let me know that point, because I find it really interesting. You guys have been friends for 6 years. And Marceau, you seem to be a battle between being friends with Mel and Martell. And I feel like you kind of take on Mel's side a lot more than you take your own wives. But when it comes to defending Martell, you definitely overlook his behavior. You definitely do, which I don't find fair. And apparently she popped up on a guy trip that they had in Atlanta. Now, she couldn't have popped up. Really, she was just happened to be in Atlanta when you guys having the guys trip. No, Martell invited her, and you guys were prepared to know that she was coming. But then, of course, why aren't you guys supposed to be friends? Why aren't you telling him that he's moving foul? Why aren't you guys, telling him he shouldn't do this? They said they did, but yet they still entertained being around him, and that's the problem. But then, of course, they felt like it wasn't any interaction that they saw caused any concern, but yet it's still within the same breath. You're still conversating with this woman. You're still hanging out with this woman. This is still problematic. Do you not think it's not problematic? I think it's problematic. And then they also said that Martell acts differently around her. And they said different how? He's more aggressive. I honestly think Martell kind of acts like the big man on campus when he's around and when Aaron is around him, because he kind of feels small and intimidated by Mel, because he did not expect for Mel to be the breakout star of the show. He expected to be part of the breakout, but he wasn't. He came the biggest fool, the biggest shit, all that and then some. So he definitely sought out women that was under him, that he felt like he can intimidate and overpower him, so he can feel like the big man. He can feel like my ego is stroked, like, which I definitely find fucked up. How you feel like you can only get a woman who you find beneath you. In order for you to feel like you're a big man, you could do what you want to do, which is not fair at all. And apparently while yeah, so while Marceau, right, so Mel's definitely feeling how it's shicey, how you have mutual friends who knows that their friend is moving foul, but yet you got the wife out here looking crazy, basically thinking that her life is all fine, sunshine and rainbows, but yet a big rock, a big mirror is about to crash down on her life. So Maurice, he wanted to make sure that he was not a part of this conversation. He said, "Was I around? Because I don't remember." "Oh, you wasn't around. You wasn't around." But then Maurice, liar, stop lying right now. Kenny, pay attention to your husband, okay? Because he's backpedaling right now about how he was not around Ariane and Martell when they were hanging out. So basically, it was kind of like, so you guys were in cahoots with knowing that he was cheating on me with this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a big secret because I'm the one that put it out there. I'm the one that told he was cheating, but yet you guys knew. So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So basically, Kimmy asked, "So did you know no, or did you speculate there was more?" Obviously, in that tone, Marcel, you know what it was. This is a woman, a random woman that's popping up around y'all when y'all hang out with Martell. That's not his wife. You guys know who his wife is. You guys are friends with his wife, but yet you guys don't find this type of behavior mind-boggling, little skeptical, little wrong. So apparently, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see it, like, friends don't, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's still bullshit at the end of the day because Kimmy felt like if that type of situation, I believe you guys should have also told Martell that he was wrong, but also make it a point where you're not even included in it. Make it where you don't want no part of it. You don't want no parts. You don't want no associates. You don't want no accomplice. You don't want nothing to tie you. That you were present in knowing that Martell was cheating on Melody with the woman that you guys have met, hung out, and spoken to. Got it. So Carlos asked Tisha. Carlos asked Tisha, how did you feel about what's the thing called? Why am I blanking? What's the thing called? I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Oh yeah. Carlos asked Tisha, how did you feel about finding out that Marcel and Maurice was around the woman that Martell was cheating on Melody with? She said it was fucked up. I found out as soon as Mel found out. And I can't believe that happened. We're all supposed to be friends. We're all supposed to come together and support one another and also make sure that we're not looking stupid. Why aren't you guys coming around with the information? So Maurice and Marcel felt like it was stupid for them to not even think of telling Mel what they heard, what they saw, even though they told Martell it was wrong, but yet you guys still are around it. And that's what Kimmy's point. Why didn't you guys ever think to leave? Why didn't you guys ever think to walk away? Then Maurice wants to say something stupid by saying, well, if I'm around it, I have no influence. If I leave, I have influence. That don't make no sense, Maurice. That's stupid. What sense does that make? So then it went back and forth with the energy of why is Marceau just pacifying it? He's saying, well, that wasn't it. That ain't it. And Tisha's looking like, what do you mean that ain't it? That ain't it what? Oh, Melly said between a Honda and a Rolls Royce. And then here come Martell with the disrespect. Oh, well, she ain't a Rolls, she ain't a Honda because she graduated with the same school as you. So don't play like that. I'm like, see, we're not going to do that. Because now Martell wants to defend his baby mother. Now, after Mel called her a Honda. You couldn't even want to say your son's birthday. You couldn't even want to say his age. You couldn't even want to tell your son's name. You call this woman a peasant. Why is it now that Mel wants to call her a Honda? It's basically saying, don't disrespect the mother of my child. I'm not going to have too many of y'all disrespecting her. Please, after the 5 years disrespected her, about how you and Ariane disrespected her numerous amounts of times, giving Ariane the ability, the gall, the gumption to come at Mel saying, put my telephone, I didn't call you. You gave Ariane the power to come at Mel with all types of disrespect, and you didn't check her for not one damn thing. Get the fuck out of here, Martell. Good night and goodbye. You will leave me alone after that because you felt like in the day you want to disrespect your wife or your ex-wife who was with you for the last 14, married you for 12, gave you 4 kids. Helped you when you didn't have nothing. Create a business with you so you can be on the stage right now. If it wasn't for Mel pitching the show, you wouldn't have nothing. You wouldn't be where you at right now. So you can miss me with that. Yep. 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 Yeah, so I don't know why Marcel and Maurice was just saying like, I'm gonna end up my night, my cool hanging out because Martell was on the wrong. That's not fair. That's not fun to do. That lets me know you guys have definitely have engaged in more enough activities when Martell was doing his dirt and possibly you, Marceau. Y'all was definitely privy. This is why bro code is being established. How you guys are still giving excuses. You and Maurice are giving these roundabout dialogue monologues about why it is not wrong to leave a situation that is messy, it's sloppy, but you guys feel like, well, we told him it was wrong, but you guys did not make an example by leaving. You guys stayed, which means y'all co-signed on that, means y'all okayed it, y'all enjoyed it. Y'all gonna miss me. Y'all gonna miss me. So Kimmy flipped it. What if I was hanging out with my girlfriends and I find out that my friend and she's cheating on another man and that's not her husband? How would that feel? I will leave. I'm not gonna co-sign your bullshit. You know you wrong and you need to end it now before it gets worse. Tisha agreed with her because she felt like, what if Maurice was hanging around with the girl that Marceau's creeping with? I don't know if that's true, Tisha. I don't, because I definitely feel like Marceau and Martell know a lot of each other's dirt. Probably why Marceau is so eager to defend Martell so much on certain things. Probably why. Because for her to pop up on the Atlanta guys trip, she didn't pop up out of no way. She was invited there. And y'all knew who she was. So they take a break. Mel is over and done with the questions about Ariana. Even though she knew questions about her was going to get popped up, but the fact that you guys are making her out to be the same level as me, as your wife, the woman who's had 4 of your kids, been married with you, what was which one you didn't have a dime? I was there with you throughout everything, throughout the mud. And you just take this floozy, this speck, you take her word and put her on the same level as me. Not saying that Ari, I read around, I think Ari was studying to be a nurse or something, but at the same point in time, she ain't got nothing on Mel. I don't care if they did graduate from the same school, don't care. She ain't got nothing on Mel or what Mel had to endure with what going through Martell and also developing her own name and her own identity after him. She is thriving. Ariana is still stuck in baby mama land and will never move from that. Martell will never marry her. He'll never parade around in public, and she'll be okay with that because she likes it. She likes this little insta famous she's getting, this insta fame. Whenever Martell's being mentioned or she's being mentioned, she's constantly on live, sounding stupid. How she believes that Martell adores his son. He plays with his son. He does everything for him, and all this blah blah blah. I'm not doing this with her. So then, basically trying to at the end of the day, I know where I'm at, and I'm not gonna drop down to your level. That's what I'm not gonna do. I'm going to move forward. I have been called to do right things and better things, and that's where I'm at. Because it's probably annoying Mel how folks are asking her, how is it going with co-parenting Martell? Going wrong. Because he's constantly going to make it seem as if I'm the main one that did this. I'm the one to blame about how we got here. And I'm not. And I'm tired of always starting to give a little, and then I have to take it all back and start all over again. Because I don't want that to my kids. So while Mel is crying, breaking down, and she says, "Why I hate Huntsville. I hate it here. It's a dark shadow. I can't escape it, and I want more for my kids and myself, and I'm tired. I'm done." So her mom just said praying for a safe environment for her and the kids, praying that God has a plan. And I think she should seek out sole primary custody. But she can't do that. They have to prove that Martell is unfit, but we have proof that Martell is a good father, but she doesn't want to be she doesn't want to be in Huntsville anymore. I think she wants to move to Atlanta. But I think that the statute of limitations or wherever the law set on Huntsville on how once you're divorced, that still brings the woman to be stuck in a state she doesn't want to be in anymore. So I know Martell's going to fight to not have his kid move from another state, but we have to make sure that Mel's mental state is good. Her mental state is on point because she is going to lose her mind staying in a place she doesn't want to stay in, all for the sake of making sure that their father sees his kids. But there's flights. You could take a plane. You could take a train. There are ways for you to still be in instant communication with your children if you're in another state. And I don't think Alabama is far from Georgia. I don't think so. But at the end of the day, the fact that Martell wants to spin it where she's trying to take his kids away from him, it could definitely work in his favor. But at the same time, we have to look at the mother. Mel is the main primary custody of those kids. I don't care what nobody says. Mel makes sure those kids are good, okay? All that and then some, while pursuing her life as a single woman with a business and a book and music, all that type of stuff. She's still doing the damn thing. And she is very much awarded to find her place, to find herself in another area that is not reminded of her of where her marriage broke. She needs to be in a better place, in a different space, and she deserves it. Her and them kids deserves it. And then Martell's been sending her pictures of what their life was and how he's trying to win her back. So I'm not doing with this. I'm not doing this with her. So Kimmy and Maurice felt bad for Mel because Martell took a pause to not answer, but that made it worse. And Marcel and Tisha were talking about how she should have felt the disrespect because knowing that, you're I'm your wife. You should respect me. Here go Marceau. She's his ex-wife. Okay, that still doesn't matter. This is a woman that she married to, the woman that she have kids with, and he wants to put her at disrespect like that. That's not cool. I hate that Marceau always try to correct folks. I hate that. But then yeah. So then Kimmy's still mad at Maurice for not thinking that it would have made sense to leave after something that isn't right. You know it's wrong that you're still co-signing and being compliant to Martell's ways. I did say it was wrong. I said that, but I don't see how I have to leave. And like I said, I did not see any interaction with them that made it seem as if it was anything more than that. So why'd you lie up there, Maurice? You just said it right now. You have seen Martell and Ariana together, but you have not seen any interactions, any mannerisms that tell anything was going on. But you seen it though. But you said up there, you didn't see it because you wasn't there. Boop, Kimmy, pay attention. Pay attention. And I don't think you knew that Maurice was hanging around with Martell while he was hanging out with Ariana. Pay attention. He's not telling you things on purpose. So he felt that doesn't maybe comply. It does. It does. And I don't like the fact that Maurice still standing on the fact that, I'm not going to leave having a good time because Martell doing wrong. But it can still set an example. It can still set a way for Martell to know that nobody's going to co-sign your bullshit. You're going to be on an island by yourself on your shenanigans. Because in the same breath, if I'm friends with someone who's engaging in an activity and is getting cheated on, in no way I'm telling you that that's not wrong, because it is. But actions speak louder than words. And I feel like you just telling him he's wrong is not enough action to know that he's doing wrong. You need to leave. Leave the bullshit. Leave it. But you don't want to do that, Maurice, because you like it. You like being in it. Well, I find it funny on how you want to completely cut off Kiowa and how she messed around in your marriage. Left, got a U-Haul, never looked back. But yet for Martell, you're giving constant defending, constant reasoning of why what he did was wrong, but yet this is what happened. And I don't think, and all, Broco, you guys would never admit that the man's doing wrong in any capacity. I would never do it. And apparently Maurice wasn't privy to a whole lot of conversations that came between Mel and Martell. But apparently they're at an impasse because Kimmy still can't believe that Maurice is still sitting here thinking that it's still okay to hang around someone who's cheating on their wife. Even though you told them that they're wrong, you still not doing nothing about it. Fine. Tisha definitely remembers hearing that Maurice was there because you guys had one guy's trip. And Maurice and Marceau are very close brothers. They will never miss a guy's trip together. So I know he went. Marceau trying to cape. I don't remember him. I don't know. I don't think I remember Maurice being there. You remember him being there. Don't cape for him. Fine. Then, Tisha, I found this a little bit shady and messy of you for you to talk about how could Mel not remember going down on somebody. At the end of the day, Tisha, not your business. And it wasn't even our business for us to know that Mel had a little sexual encounter with another man. It still doesn't equate to what Martell did. Mel got hers, not mad, move on. Don't do that. And then looking back on how Tisha found out at the same time as Mel, but what was it that Tisha knew already? Or did she really find out? Because throughout the first season, I believe, when Mel and Tisha was going through their issues, with Mel probably bringing up little innuendos that Marceau and Martell are like birds of feather flock together. They both be in the same shit. And you need to be careful, be mindful. And that's when Tisha brought the matching BMWs comment. Because we found out that Martell also bought Ariana a car, paid for her an apartment. So to me, it was just kind of like, how much did Tisha know? And how much did she know to use it at her advantage to try to spite Mel in front of her face. I just want to know that part. I just want to know. So we get Destiny's segment. Destiny comes out on stage. She looks gorgeous in this wine burgundy, very form fitting dress. Her hair was a lot. It was a lot of hair. I saw the back. The tight curls were cute. I did not know what style she had. I don't know if she had a regular side part, or was it a half up, half down with a long side? I don't know. Her makeup was beautiful. I'm gonna wrap this up in a nutshell. Destiny's segment didn't give much. None at all. She wasn't transparent as she say she is. She's not as transparent as none of them on the stage are, because nothing. The only thing that she told was she was fighting for her marriage. What made it worse was COVID. They finally lived in the same state and they got married. They had a baby. COVID happened. No more marriage. I'm still not, there's some holes missing, to my opinion. Then we get to another story about a last name, about how that was one of their main conversations, but she said it was over and done with because she wanted to keep her last name, because her last name was her last line of knowing who her family is. That's the only thing I have left of them is their last name. I can deal with hyphenating it, but he didn't want that. And to me, because Kimmy wanted to come in and say sometimes we have to deal with our deal breakers, and sometimes name change could be a non-negotiable or a deal breaker. She instantly took on the Scott's name when she wanted to marry Maurice, because Maurice wasn't going to marry her unless she didn't take it. We see where that went. Then Mel wants to find out, what was it so important about men taking their last names? Why are we so consumed with taking men's last name? Marceau said the legacy, start a legacy, start traditions, since that has to go down in history, all which I can understand, because my family's name, when it came to my mother, I was a Ross and a Polidor. Polidor was my father's name, but then I dropped that, became a whole Ross, and then my stepfather adopted me. I ended up becoming a Reed, and then when I met my husband, I dropped that and became a Washington. I was in no shape or no pressure to keep my other last name, because I love my husband so much. I didn't even care. I wanted to be with him, and if late, really, I really wanted to take his last name because I wanted us to be a family. I want us to start our legacy, And I'm still not convinced that the last name change was the straw to break the camel's back. I'm not believing that. There is more, and I think Carlos intentionally did not dig deep into the questions to ask Destiny, because I don't know, Destiny wanted to be saved. I don't know, Destiny did not want to admit to anything, but I don't find it fair. This is Destiny's second season, and this is her first reunion, I believe, and how she is not being as open and honest about her life as she wanted Tiffany to do, which I am not finding it fair. None at all whatsoever, because we found out that LeBert filed for divorce 3 weeks after she had baby Law. Something had to have happened for LeBert to wait 3 weeks after Law was born. You had just had him. You're just healing, and after that, probably wasn't helping around as much when we found out. Something happened where you guys just couldn't do it. I am not saying, but well, you guys, they've been together for 5.5 years, married for 2. Something more than the baby, COVID, the name change is what broke your relationship. And Destiny does not want to admit it, which I don't find fair. She did all of that this season. How she wanted to create beef with Tiffany, how Tiffany made her feel at her party. Granted, fucked up, but move on. You instantly got in touch with Tiffany and found that you guys had more in common, but nothing else changed after that. You still had an issue with Tiffany after that. And everything you did was a ploy to get your shit off your back. You did not want nobody to drill in, because in the beginning of the season, you felt like it wasn't as bad as it was, that people are asking you, are you okay? And how are you feeling? Because nobody prepared to know that LeBert posted that you guys got a divorce. Nobody knew. So everybody's coming up with theories, and you could be the one to eliminate all those theories if you just open up about your heart and open up about your situation. But you don't want to do it. So next season, Destiny, I don't want to hear nothing from you about how you're being open and honest, but you're not. I honestly think they're giving you a pass because they like you. And Tisha, Kimmy have gotten to know you more, so they want to save you, which is not fair. Mel had to come up with being the spokesperson of her situation when she just had baby Milani and she was getting cheated on. She had to tell her story. She had to tell her story after that. She's still telling her story after that. How is it that Destiny, because Destiny wants to say she is not saying much about her situation for the sake of your son. Your son is one. He's not knowing anything right now. I understand you want to take them, understand all that, but yet, Destiny, you're still acting as if you're all good, but you don't look good. All this shit you did to Mel this season, how you don't have a village, she's not being a good friend to you. You were not in a good space. And you keep on saying you fine, you fine. You don't sound fine. I'm moving on. So, then we're talking about, I'm moving on, yeah. So then we're talking also about we get to Tiffany and, are we there? Yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry. So basically, Destiny's enjoying her single life. She's willing to date, and the whole co-parenting thing with LeBaron. She said she's co-parenting on his way, meaning he's over the house, he's playing with law, she's cooking, she's cleaning. I don't know if this is Destiny's plight to still showcase that she's fine, but then she's not fine. How she's moving forward, but yet I'm still going back to that last episode when she was complaining to how Mel is so much is moving on up and how she's single. She was a married woman. Now she's single. She is, adjusting, and how Destiny wants to be at the same pace as Mel with adjusting. So I don't know if Destiny is trying to automatically put herself into an automatic adjusting phase when I think she's not. I think Destiny still has a lot of healing to do when it comes to a situation, but she doesn't want to be honest about it. And I don't find it fair that Carlos did not dig deep into those questions more than what he dig deep into Tiffany and Louis and everybody else. Why does she get a pass? Didn't like it at all. Moving on. So then we are talking about yeah, we get to Louis and Tiffany. How they came in, newly fresh couple, with the perspective and the transparency of where they're at. So obviously everybody around, majority of the Scots, felt like they did not come in and showcase nothing about themselves. They felt like they pursued themselves to be these top dogs, these specialists, these all about marriage and stuff like that. But when they came out the gate talking about Monster vaping wasn't cool, it led to the conversation that she had about Tisha, how she wasn't as confident as she was, and communicative. So to kind of wrap this up with what I can think about, we're talking about the conversation with Monster, right? While I do believe that it was fucked up of Tiffany to bring up their child, I don't know. A part of me felt like I'm still on the fact that Kimmy's main issue was she didn't know. She didn't know. And Maurice didn't tell her because he felt like I did it. So what's the point of me telling you? And I think that he used that he didn't know. That I think he used the upsetting that he did not tell Kimmy, threw it on Tiffany and Louis, even though it was one for her to speak on the child. But Maurice, we can't throw entire stones. We can't throw the whole rock colony at Tiffany and Louis when you did not do what you needed to do, which was tell your wife about your son vaping in the bathroom and getting suspended, and we need to have a conversation. Can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was in the moment when Maurice and Kim was telling Tiffany it wasn't cool to talk about my child, but I feel like Maurice went too far with the whole legacy of a black man and the plight of a black man and stuff like that, because it's still hiding from him not taking responsibility, how he was supposed to tell his wife what happened to his son, because you want Kimmy to be another parent for a Monster, right? So you need to be communicative husband and father to invite her into things that you don't know or things that you want to figure out. And she needs to be a helping hand. But Maurice stayed quiet while Kimmy was the main one talking about the whole thing with Monster, because Kimmy felt like if we had a different conversation, if I knew what you was talking about and you came out the gate with that, it would have been worse. Since I didn't know it was caught off guard, I was like, that's not how you introduce folks, which is true. But I felt like after that, you guys went on normal accord to me. And looking back on the social media that Tiffany and Louis have gotten, they knew what they signed up for. They were fans of the show. How did you think about the comments? She said during the first week, I got so much hate. People were dragging me. I was surprised I did not jump off a cliff, because people do be going in on Tiffany on these comments. They go hard in the paint. And while this is kind of what you get on social media, I do feel like you guys can't be this mad at Tiffany. I understand how she came in, but yet y'all can't still be in the same breath over and over and over and over again. Y'all gonna get tired of that. That's gonna break y'all mental. So, but at the same time, if your people's names in your mouth, they gonna want to bring you back. And that's the truth. We've heard more of Tiffany's name than we've heard of Destiny. So y'all gonna have to do better to make yourselves be more seen on this season, please. And at the same point in time, whether or not your name is mentioned in a good light or a bad light, you're gonna get publicity from it. So, considering how they came off, the whole transparency, Tisha said, I don't really know her. I want to get to the meat. I want to get to what to know. You said you got divorced. What did you do to your marriage? You said this, but you used your high school boyfriend that you cheated on him. That's not how it works. Again, Tisha, starting off wrong again. That's not how you get to know folks. Is not instantly asking them to get dirt. That's not how it works. I get it. Tiffany came in telling y'all dirt and not hers, and not came in a better way to know y'all. But I think she's socially awkward and doesn't know how to read a room and no timing of inviting herself in something. I'm seeing that. But I do feel like y'all beating a dead horse with this, getting to know the meat about her, getting to know this and what questions to ask her if it's not what you want to hear. Tiffany's probably giving what you guys need, what you guys want to know, because I don't think you guys have given Tiffany the space to be open, to be inviting, to be welcoming. I don't think you guys gave her that space. I honestly don't. And I honestly think you guys didn't give her that space probably ever since Destiny's brunch. Because Destiny made sure she told everybody about how she made her feel, and then did not want to be upfront with it and confront her about it the right way until later on, when she's made the entire storyline about how she made her feel at her birthday party. So then, So, of course, Martell's pretty much saying, first of all, you guys are asking too much of them. They just got here. They have not been around like us. They have not known us that long. And Mel even said she's only known her for 7 years in business. She doesn't really know her as personal. But I do believe Mel is probably keeping quiet because she felt like, I ain't got a problem with what Tiffany's doing. Hell, she's entering more into this reality world than what me and Martell's been doing this entire time. Our situation is getting dragged and dragged and dragged, and we need to come to a point as a stop, because we can't keep talking about Mel and Martell. Y'all gotta come up with something else. Y'all come up with some issue that y'all gonna have to solve, because it can't be us all the time. So she's probably like, listen, Tiffany's doing what she needs to do, so I'm finna sit back and just watch. So then, of course, since nobody knows what Tiffany and Louis brings and what they do, but they have an opinion about them, they are really upset. And I already went through the kid thing, and I felt like, you know what, Louis said, you know what, I'm sorry. But to me, I still feel like vaping wasn't as bad as it was, because he's 14, he's gonna make mistakes, he's learned from it. We don't need to keep dragging, because it was annoying that y'all dragged it from the season. We're not gonna drag this out to the reunion. Louis said he was sorry. Moving on. I get the whole, why is he being this all gay and lean, and if it's up, if I got that drink, would have been the works. But that's what men do. I can't fault him on that. And it's the fact that he did not say it, I'm like, this men talk. Men just talk just to talk. I'm moving on from that. And the apology, because I don't want that to be our main storyline next season either, about the kids. Please don't do that. So then Destiny still, no, Tiffany not, yeah, the whole, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, Destiny still feel like she's not being transparent in the terms of when she wants to bring something about her to the table. Yeah, she's bringing something about us. And that's when Kimmy wants to come out and say, I heard she was fired from the Chamber of Commerce. When Tiffany sat there all poised, she was like, okay. So Carlos said, you have anything to say that? Is that true? No. I honestly don't think Tiffany wanted to answer, because, again, y'all's not giving her the opportunity to be open, because y'all instantly want to make faces and say, she lying, she's still not being transparent. All y'all not transparent. Kimmy, Tisha, y'all men was hanging around with another woman that Martell was cheating on when didn't tell y'all. Y'all, nope. So, basically, just trying to understand, does Mel believe that she's transparent? But Mel's quiet, because she said, either way, she's doing what she needs to do. I'm not in this with y'all. So basically, it's kind of like, after all that, you guys are still mean girling the fuck out of Tiffany for not being transparent, for not opening up, but yet, all y'all don't do it. Tisha, you're not being open and honest about how you are in your marriage. Kimmy, you are damn near about to over talk yourself into defending yourself all the time when Maurice doesn't do nothing but sit there and let you run and run and run by yourself. You are an army of one. So then we're also talking about marriage, on how Louis and Tiffany has so much to say about other people's marriages based off of how they've only been married for 11 months according to Marceau. And as far as being transparent and honest, if you're transparent, we can see you. If you're honest, we ain't got to worry about what you're saying, whether it's true or not. But still, I'm not liking how Marceau practically just thought beneath Louis and Tiffany about how they only been married for 11 months. They don't know much about what being married is. They don't know how hard it is. And be surprised when you make it to year 2. Here goes this Destiny. Instantly trying to make it seem as if it's not acted towards her, but you're in that boat too, miss. You barely made it to 2 years, and your shit is still not clear. So you're not in no boat of I'm cool. You're not cool, Destiny. You got some shit you don't want to say either. So pipe down, baby. Don't make a noise. Here go Cammy. You made it to 2. Again, why y'all defending Dear Destiny so much? Y'all mad at Melly for defending Tiffany, but yeah, y'all still came for Destiny. Y'all caved for her right now when she gave nothing in her segment. Just passed on by. Okay, nope. So, of course, Marceau was definitely looking down on them reaching a year's worth of marriage because that's so easy. That's child's play. And then y'all coming up with this book on how to be a marriage counselor and shit. I don't think that Louis and Tiffany were being counselors. I just think they can see shit easily in their year's worth of a marriage because Tisha and Marceau, you guys don't exactly exude. Not to say every marriage is perfect, but you guys got rocks. You guys got rocks. You guys got cracks. You guys got a unstable foundation in your 15 years of marriage because in the last 3 years of y'all marriage, it's been hard. It's been struggling. All through what? Communication. Tiffany and Louis saw one scene on how you guys are not communicative. When Tisha surprised Marceau with surprise therapy because she's afraid in herself and her confidence in her marriage to tell her husband how she's feeling because he's going to dismiss it, tell her she's not feeling like this. It's stupid. Don't seek advice. Listen to me. I'm the one that knows all and sees all. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. But basically, it's just Louis is not trying to say I'm coming from an expert, but at the same point in time, you keep on telling me how I'm only married for one year. I've been married before, and I know what's not to fuck up from that marriage. Put in this one. I have went through self-healing and knowing my self-worth and knowing what I need to work on before I enter another relationship, and I'm using that in this relationship, and that's something to be advised about. That's something to want to know how do you do it because Marceau definitely has this way of not getting divorced when it doesn't get better. If it doesn't get better, don't get divorced. If it's going to, you guys gonna work at it, don't get, like, he's definitely looking down on what divorce is. Like, divorce is the worst thing ever, and you cannot find love. Your brother divorced Kyle after something happened, and he found Kimmy. So yes, you can find love, and you can find advice after one relationship. You can. So Marceau just don't like the fact that Louis catches it on his bullshit. That's why. So basically, he said, listen, I was married for 5 years, got divorced. I know what not to fuck up. I know what I'm seeing. I'm acknowledging it. And I can give you that same advice, but you have to choose to take it. And he said, I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, but you don't acknowledge it, which you don't. You don't acknowledge that your wife is asking for more time. You don't acknowledge that your wife wants you home more. You don't acknowledge that your wife wants more quality time. You saying you had to work as if you guys are broke, living paycheck to paycheck. It's mind-boggling to me. Like, we're going back to the Vegas trip. How you couldn't spend 5 minutes in front of the church to give your wife a thank you, appreciative of this trip, appreciative of this anniversary. It took for Louis and Tiffany for them to say, let's make love, not make love. Let's come up here, show what people can do when they're ready to make love. Now, damn it. Let's show people who come up here and showcase our love to everybody without looking as if it's going to make him seem any different or anything like that. Marceau didn't want to go out there for 5 minutes to say what he loved about Tisha because he doesn't want to. Didn't want to be pressured, didn't want to be forced, but at the same point in time, you still want to showcase your love for your wife. You don't do that. Moving on. So, Carlos asked Tiffany, how does she feel about what Marceau is saying? Because Marceau said a very nice, nasty, roundabout monologue that Tiffany and Louis are not... They're not experts. They're not a success story. They're not in love. They don't have anything to offer us. And how is it they going to offer a 1 year worth of advice for a 15-year marriage? You could be surprised. Like I said, when I watched this season, I'm 5 years in. And I can see that this 15 years of marriage is bullshit. because Tisha have already admitted she did not want to be a wife. She did not want to be in an instant mother and wife all at one time. She wanted to travel. She wanted to live her life, but she got stuck in a role that she did not want to be in. And I recognize that from the beginning on how Tisha be looking so sour in the face when she doesn't hear what she wants to hear. She's so sour in the face when she's getting told that she shouldn't think like this and shouldn't feel like this. All by her husband, who doesn't care about her feelings, dismisses her feelings, and thinks she has a right to feel like this because what you complain about for. Anyway, so Tiffany said, I feel like everybody has an opinion. It's like everybody has an asshole. Here go Marcel. Don't bring an asshole to me because at the end of the day, Marcel, you are an asshole. You have no pedestal to stand on how you can give marital advice to anybody. Please, you don't take it yourself. You don't even go to therapy because you feel like you don't need therapy. And that's sad. How you did the whole depression thing, please. Oh, why didn't we talk about the depression run? Oh, that's a good thing we didn't do. But then here goes Tisha. I'm tired of people coming in and telling us what to do in our marriage. Put some respect on our marriage. No, Tisha, have Marcel put respect on your marriage. Have you put respect on your marriage. Make sure you guys are not being front and faking how you guys think that Louis and Tiffany are. All y'all faking in y'all situations. All of y'all not in the cookie cutter shit. You guys are all in messed up, no communicative, trouble. All y'all are in it. It is not just one person who's coming in thinking that they know everything. All y'all do it. Good night and goodbye. But that's it, y'all. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the final part, which is part 3. We're going to see Miss Vanessa, Miss Wanda going back and forth. And I can't wait. But I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.